Hiya, Maggie Williams here again with another recording in the series for implementing business and products, business modeling, and this one is about the key activities part of the business model canvas. So, key activities. When I was talking about the value proposition, maybe you remember, I discussed that very often, especially in smaller companies, we confuse our key activities with our value proposition. So if you're giving massages, doing massage, you think that that is maybe your value proposition, but actually it's your key activity. The same with designers, especially if you're a freelance designer. Your value proposition should be formulated differently, but the work that you do, the activity, is of course in the design process. So the key activity from that point of view is, well, kind of straightforward. If you're a designer, your key activity is designing. Duh. However, not all businesses are as straightforward. Some are more complex, and especially in large businesses, things are different. So it can be really important to find out what your key activities are, depending on the complexity of your business and your value proposition. So it's really important to find out or construct your key activities. And it's very often that there's more than one activity that is key in delivering your value proposition. And it's also important to kind of rank them into what are key activities, because there's lots of activities that you do in the end to deliver your value proposition. And even as a designer, you're doing also maybe some accounting and keeping books, but that's maybe not a key activity to delivering your value proposition. So all the things that you do are probably activities in your business, but you find out which ones are key. It can be more than one that are really important, but find out which have the priorities. Now then, there's different types of key activities. And there's three main categories of key activities that you can be doing: production, problem solving, and supplying a platform or a network. So if you're in the restaurant business, you're producing the meals, not only the meals but also the service and the environment. That's the key activity there. Solving a problem, if you're a consultant or a designer or a bicycle repairman, then your key activity is solving problems for others. And the third type of key activity can be providing a platform or a network. I don't know if you know the service Peerby, but it's a platform where you can register and ask to borrow stuff. So their key activity is delivering a platform or a network where people can connect and exchange information and, in the end, goods. So we've talked about the business model pattern for multi-sided platforms. There, the key activity is in terms of a platform, a network. So those are different types of key activities, and it can be that you're in the business of having more than one key activity that is necessary to deliver your value proposition, but in general, that one of them is the key of your key activity. And then, of course, we are always focused on delivering the value proposition. So that's probably also the focus of finding out what is your key activity. But especially in bigger businesses, it can be that the key activity, there are also key activities related to enabling the distribution channels, or enabling the customer relations, or enabling the revenue streams. So it can be so that it is a key activity for you to have enough cash at hand or other things. So it's also important to not just focus on that value proposition, but also look at the other activities, and maybe there are key activities involved there as well. One of the things, skip that. So if you look at these two pictures, what is the relation between them? Anyone? These are two products made by the same overall company, the Mars company. So you could say that a key activity for them is to produce foods, whether it be human foods or pet food. But that would be mixing things up that are not right. So you have to go back to your canvas and look at things from the point of view of your value proposition. Now, it's very obvious, I hope, that these two products are two different value propositions, and that it's better to fill in two separate canvases for them. And then you will have different value propositions, and also you will be looking at different key activities, although, you know, in terms of production, they might be similar. I'm not an expert on that part. We should discuss that with our colleagues of PFT maybe. So, and that, you know, that overall again is when you look at the key activities, keep on those iterations. If there is something in there that might lead you to think, oh, maybe I have multiple value propositions, or maybe one of the key activities means something else for my customer relationship. So keep iterating, but for now, that's it for the key activities.